Hello, who are we talking to today?
So I'm Ian Hamerton, NCC Professor of Polymers and Sustainable Composites.
Okay, so how will you describe your research in one sentence?
So I design and test polymers for use in extreme environments.
That's nice. So what inspired you to be in this profession?
So I've always been quite curious about how we can push the limits of what is possible with materials, and that's what's brought me into exploring this in wider and wider applications.
So what's the weirdest, coolest, or the funniest thing that you have done in your research?
Oh, I'd imagine most recently the coolest thing is probably sending materials into space. So we have some composites that are currently being tested on the International Space Station. So they're orbiting above our heads as we speak.
Lovely. So if you were to give one advice to the next younger generation, what would it be?
Keep curious, stay curious, keep questioning. I guess most of what drives us on here is still an understanding or trying to understand more about how materials function, how how the fundamentals of materials are important to design the next generation of materials, but that's kept fresh with an ongoing curiosity about how the materials behave.
That's a nice inspiration. So if you are an element in the periodic table, which element you would be and why?
That's a very good question. At times I feel as dense as osmium, but I guess in this sort of environment, I'm surrounded by people who are really, I guess imposter syndrome is something that you always tend to kind of will confront you from time to time, and I come into contact with lots of very bright people, so it's actually quite difficult sometimes to keep your game raised.
Great. So one last question. If you're not in this profession, what will be the other profession in an alternate world?
Paleontologist.
Paleontologist. Wow, that's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Thank you so
Right,
much.
you're very
Yeah.
welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.